Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Video Game Vibes podcast. I'm here, PatriotJax, with your boy, Grog Games, as we spit gaming conversation and just talk about anything that takes our fancy, which is usually video game related.
It's mostly video games, guys.
And today will be no different. However, as we do in the intro, how are you doing? How are you doing, dude?
I'm good. I have a minor lawn update to update the pod about. I know everyone is dying for it. I think last time I said my lawn was dead. It's still dead. My plants are growing enormously, and apparently there's a pine tree that I have in the backyard, and seeds fall off and then grow little pine trees.
Oh yeah, you can't be letting that happen.
Yeah, and it happened so fast that I didn't know how big they got, and I ended up chopping 4 trees yesterday that were real trees because they were about to grow into huge pine trees, and they were just in little beds around my yard and stuff. So I had to use a saw and cut a tree down, which is not something I really wanted to do, but there it is. That's my life now.
I'll just add to that, I also have some dead trees in my garden that we have to cut down now, because when you have a baby, you kind of forget to do stuff like the garden. You know, it takes a backseat significantly.
Yeah, as it should.
And we have a conifer that is now dead, and a buddleia that is now dead. Those are tree names, by the way, guys. For anyone that knows. Yeah, conifer, yeah.
It's like a pine tree, isn't it? It's a pine tree.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to, before we get into Pocket Mirror, of course, yes. I want to talk anime, because it's been too long since we've talked
I was going to bring it up.
I never get to talk about it with anyone else.
Yes, alright. What have you been watching?
Okay, so obviously you saw my tweet about Black Clover, so I started getting into that.
Oh, yes, you did. Okay. And how far are you? Who's your favorite character?
Maybe 30 episodes in.
Okay.
Favorite character. I don't think I'm massively overly fond of any.
Really?
I quite like. Yeah, not really. I quite like Asta. Just in general,
I know he's
the main character.
Yeah.
I know he's the main character, right? And normally those sorts of main characters, and it's all about never giving up on it. It's quite it's formulaic in a way, that type of main character. But for some reason, I find myself smiling when he gets into his whole thing about, not necessarily the whole Wizard King thing, but just about the hard work and I'm poor and you guys are rich, but I can still kick your ass if I want to, sort of thing. It's not arrogance, it's actual belief in himself. And I don't know, I say it's been a while. I was watching Bleach for a little while, and I kind of fell off Bleach weirdly when I started watching the new season, the 1,000-Year Blood.
Oh, really?
War. Yeah, but the only reason I fell off of that was because I presume you've watched Bleach, yeah?
I have not seen the new season because I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But yes,
right,
I have seen all the rest of Bleach. Yes.
Okay, so and this might be the website I'm watching it on or what, I don't know. So I watched up until who was the villain who betrayed them?
Aizen?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So him, right? Okay. So him and Gin. I was so in on all of that, right? And then they floated away, and then there was this whole filler arc that I didn't really care about, as you don't.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get anything else, and then it was the 1,000-year. Was there?
Wait.
Yeah.
And then it was the 1,000-year, the newest one. That's what it put you after that? No, there's there's so much more.
I was gonna say I want to know what happens with Aizen. That will get me back into it, but I don't know. It must be the website I'm watching it.
Yeah, that's really weird. No, you have oh god, I don't know. There's so much filler in Bleach, to be completely honest. Yeah, find a website and then send me pics of what episodes, because I can tell you what to skip.
I struggled through that whole vampire sort of filler season. That I couldn't deal with that, and then that just ended, and I was skipping through to try and get back to the interesting stuff, and then it just goes to the 1,000 hours, and I was like, this isn't right. This is just taking me straight out of it, and that's when I moved on to Black Clover. But I think we'd be remiss if we're talking about anime. We're not talking about the anime that everyone's talking about right now, which is, of course, Demon Slayer.
Oh, I was like, what is it? I guess we're talking about Demon Slayer. I'm caught up on Demon Slayer. I actually finished it yesterday.
5 episodes in, I think. So I'm waiting for the dub, obviously.
Oh, to the new season, though. To the Swordsmith Village arc. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And I think I'm fully converted off of the, if it wasn't for the animation, it would be mid.
Yes, finally, yes.
School. I'm not 100% there, but like, look, I think, and to be fair, I'm probably just talking about animation anyway, but it was more like the art direction of some of the shots and some of the scenes in the latest season of Demon Slayer that I was just blown away by. It was like that intro scene. I think it is Akaza is the demon, and he's just falling down that. Oh right, yeah. Like that whole scene and the way it was sort of directed and the way it sort of came, it was just so beautiful. And I'm essentially talking about the animation, the art direction part of the animation and stuff. But you still have to do it in a way, like it's just beautiful and like. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty. Yes, it really is. I guess I'm just talking about the animation, so I'm not really like convincing myself. But like, there are plenty of characters that are like very tropey in Demon Slayer that I'm very much like, oh, okay, okay, yeah. Do you know what? I thought I was past this, but I don't think I am. I think I'm still in the boat of, if it wasn't Ufotable, would it be as popular as it is? I don't think it would, and I like Demon Slayer. We've talked about this before. I like Demon Slayer, but I just don't think the story's good. It's too predictable. You could say like, oh, I like it for its simplicity and stuff, and that's a fair reason to like it, but don't not say it isn't like a simple, pretty straightforward sort of story. Yeah. The like Tanjiro is like, I've seen videos of people trying to say he's like different to a lot of generic main characters, but no, he's not really. Like, let's be perfectly. How is he different? I can't think of one reason why he's different. I think I was thinking about it. One thing is that he still, when others would choose not to finish off. Like, they would choose to maybe try and save the person, the baddie. Tanjiro will acknowledge that, but still kill them, and that's a difference. And I'm like compared to another main character in a different. Yeah, anime? Like he would still finish the job. With the job is to chop their head off, essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which I guess is true, but I don't see him being that different to anyone else. It's I don't know. I don't know if that's comparable to, because like there's so many different factors that you could be like, oh, it's a demon, they kill people. So like compared to like, I don't know, a misunderstood bad guy in different anime. I don't know. I have no opinion. I like it. I will continue to watch it, but like. You're so afraid to be honest. I can see it in your eyes. Come on, man. All right, what you think. My honesty, yeah, the story sucks, bro. Like, it's so predictable. Like, I don't know. Like, there are some cool times where I was like, oh, that was cool that happened. But like, it's just stuff we've all seen before in a prettier way. That's all it is. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but something happens at the end of the arc. I've heard that the end is really like big. Yeah. I won't say anymore. Never mind. I was gonna I was gonna say my opinion on it without telling you what it was, but never mind. I don't want to say it. Good, bad. That's what you need to say. Good, bad.
For me, it's exactly what we were talking about. Where I thought,
it's just what you thought.
Oh, of course.
Oh, snap! That's quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know, I was second mondering the last 10 minutes because I was like, no, bro. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it.
What I will bring up, non-anime related, I was just saying before we started, I've had like the week from hell.
Yeah, what happened?
I have been unbelievably ill.
Oh, really?
I hit up a community post. I posted something on my... Just to basically say, I was meant to get a video out and I couldn't. I have a virus, which is not like any of the Resident Evil viruses, obviously. I'm still here.
That we know, yeah.
But oh my god, this... all I'm going to say is I spent more time in the toilet than doing any other activity, like, for the week. Like, it was so bad. And today and most of yesterday is like the first couple of days where I'm actually back to normal. So like, if this had carried on, there is no way this recording would have taken place.
Oh my god. That's terrible, dude.
And that's sort of all I'll say in it, because I'm not gonna get into the gory details.
Yeah, jeez.
But yeah, it's been a bad one.
No wonder.
I've been ill a lot, and I was saying this to my wife. I was like, since my son's been born, I've been ill a lot. I'm not saying it's his fault, but just I've been ill a lot. Like, it's really annoying. I'm done being ill,
bro.
Just move past it. Oh, I can't.
One thing you didn't realize when you decide to have a kid, just to put it out there, is that you're going to be sick more often, because that kid is going to school and they might not be as cleanly as you are, so they're gonna bring back germs and then you'll get sick. It happens all the time.
I feel like my immune system is just like not non-existent at this point. Like, I don't know what's going on. Nothing's fighting back. I'm taking it all.
I'm just absorbing the viruses.
I'm like that meme of the army guy like blocking the child, you know, like taking in every hit. And I don't know who I'm protecting, but I'm taking all the damage.
You're the guy with the knives, and like you're in front of your immune system, and your immune system's like, what?
I've not been on the socials much at all. I mean,
well, that's fine. You gotta rest up. Oh, did you see what happened on Twitter yesterday?
I was just about to say, can we just talk about that for like a minute?
Yeah,
a hot minute.
I was dumbfounded. So anyway, at this point of this recording, guys, Elon temporarily limited the amount of tweets that people can see. If you paid for Twitter Blue, you get I don't know the numbers because it keeps changing
now. I think.
Yeah,
he changed them. It was originally 6,000 for Twitter Blue. Now it's 8,000.
And it was 600 for free accounts.
And now it's 800.
Which is
and
wild.
It's like 400 for like unverified new accounts or something like that.
Yeah, unverified new accounts also had a lower one, but it's like
it's bonkers. But like any sort of like it's a death sentence to content creating on there. Like I almost feel like it's not worth tweeting like about my content. Like if I just want to tweet, that's fine. But I feel like trying to promote via Twitter is now essentially like that's pointless.
I used to, like, when I was streaming or I had a new video, I would always go to Twitter and like promote it there, but I never do that anymore because like it's not even that like I can't get any traction there anyway. And now it's way worse. It's
so much worse. It's just it's awful. And whether it's like temporary or whatever, and some people are saying because something about DDoSing or something. Yeah. No. Well, I think Elon's saying one thing, and it's a completely separate issue. But it does look like Twitter's going down. I saw this really great meme that's like social media sites that are like killing themselves, and it's got like Twitter, Twitch, and Reddit all like That's too good.
Oh, I just don't know what's happening, man. I just don't know what's happening anymore. First it's like the submarine, and then it's the Grimace Shake, and now Twitter's killing itself. Like, so much has happened in this last week.
It really has. I literally wanted to. I completely missed the whole thing on the Grimace. I was
Did you?
in it. I was consuming it, but I didn't post anything about it, and I really wanted to because that whole trend was hilarious. Like, it was so funny. I loved every minute of it.
It's been my favorite trend, and like that was all that was on my TikTok for like this last week. Because like I would like every single one, and then like you just get fed more.
Of course, yeah. Which is exactly what Grimace wants.
Okay, hold on. I have to talk about one more thing before we move on to our video games. Did you hear about the fight between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh my god, I did it. I couldn't tell if it was genuine or not. It's actually real, isn't it? And
yeah,
Italy have offered the government offered the Colosseum. Like, what world are we living in where these rich people are like what is happening?
I don't know, dude. I'm very confused. I like this whole week I felt like I was in the Matrix because like weird stuff was just popping up out of nowhere. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, this can't be real life.
Imagine the word dystopia that has just been invented now. What would a dystopia from our reality look like? Because dystopia used to mean stuff that's actually happening now. So like, what's dystopia? Because we're in it. We're in a dystopia. It's insane. Like, what's happening? Like,
people keep saying we're like in a Black Mirror episode.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up because I did want to talk about Black Mirror because I just finished the 4th episode. I think there's 5.
Okay, yeah. And was it good?
It was all right. It was actually. No, it ended. It didn't end the way I expected, and it ended very Black Mirror-y. I thought it was going to follow a like a normal filmy horror-y trope, but it didn't. It switched it back up, which I appreciated.
Okay.
But yeah, I've not been, and same with the last season, I've not been massively impressed with it. The Aaron Paul astronaut one was easily the best, I thought. Okay. I thought the concept was different and original enough, and with Black Mirror, you're always predicting what happens at the end. You're always trying to predict the twist.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the only ones where I didn't predict the twist, and I got it wrong. And yeah, it was very good. That one was very good. Then it was
Black
like
Mirror just like modern Twilight Zone.
I mean, I never watched the Twilight Zone, but from my understanding of it and the concept of that phrase that's used a lot, like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I think so.
I just realized that. That's so weird. That's good. I love the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, episode 3. Ooh, I think it was episode 3. Episode 3 or episode 4. Terrible. Like, just the one about paparazzi. Oh, enjoy that one, guys. Oh, that was awful. Very awful.
I heard that one was good because like it was realistic, or like not necessarily realistic, but like it could happen potentially. Right? What? Well, the paparazzi one. I don't know the story of it, but I thought it was like the paparazzi
you tell me if that
stalking
can happen,
or something.
Because I can guarantee it but yeah, I won't spoil it because it's still new and you guys haven't watched it.
Yeah. No spoilers here. Except for the video game that we're about to spoil.
Well, should we move from one mirror to another?
Oh my god, look at that. Many mirrors this episode.
Many mirrors. So yes. Yeah. Oh, go after you, sir.
No, I was just going to announce the game. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about a lovely little RPG called Pocket Mirror. This is one of Jax's favorite RPG games, right, Jax? It's very story-driven, which is right up your alley. It's
probably one of my favorite games of all time.
All time?
Favorites. Yeah, like it is a fantastic little RPG Maker horror game. The original came out in 2016, and they recently did a remaster that came out a few months ago called Pocket Mirror GoldenerTraum GoldenerTraum, I think, where it's just they've sort of made everything pretty and sort of modernised a few little things and obviously updated all of the artwork and sprites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they also added one other ending as well, just to add a bit more to the lore. Which is
interesting.
Yes. Just FYI, guys, to help with a full sort of breakdown and context of the game, we are going to be getting into spoiler territory.
Yes.
So if you haven't played it, go and play it, or if you don't care, and then go and play it, listen to our podcast.
Yes. And do you also want to mention how you have a in-depth analytical video on your channel for those people that would like to watch and get more into the lore? I do have an explained video on it because it is a complex. It has a complex story. The game has multiple endings, and that video sort of goes through everything. But for those of you guys that have never even heard of Pocket Mirror, just to dial it back a bit, it's basically the story of a girl who doesn't know her name, and she just wakes up in a room with a pocket mirror, would you believe? And the only thing she knows is that she needs to hold on to it for some reason. She's aware that it's important, but she's not sure why. And basically you're going through the game trying to get answers as to who you are and the people you meet and how they relate to you and relate to the protagonist. Yes, and it's basically in like a creepy mansion, isn't it? The whole time?
It kind of, yeah. Areas. It kind of spreads out like a number of locations. In my head, I don't tend to think of it like it's one massive area. Right. Because whilst I see where you're coming from with the mansion thing, and that may well be the case, in my head anyway, all of the locations are separate. And each location is related to one of the 4 characters that you meet, the 4 main other characters that you meet in the game.
And they are?
Oh, well. Okay, so yeah.
Tell me, Jax, tell me these characters.
Okay, yeah. So the 4 girls that you meet are Fleta with her doll Eaglet. You meet Harpay, who is so hilarious. It's just her. It's the voice acting for Harpay. Like, you know when.
Why are you laughing so much?
Because you know when you talk to like a character and sometimes they'll just make like a groany sound or like just go or like in Zelda it happens a lot where it's just like Harpay's one is particularly like questionable. Shall we say? Yeah, it's quite funny. So yeah, after Harpay is Lisette, and then the other girl you meet is Angel. That's right. I didn't forget.
Question: those first few names sounded French. Did they say like where directly they're supposed to be in the world at all, or no?
I believe the game is set in Austria. I believe. I think it's Austria off the top of my head. Like it's Austria or Germany, based on a lot of the names.
Yeah.
GoldenerTraum. That sounds German to me. But yeah, off the top of my head, I actually can't remember. But I want to say in my head it's Austria. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, so just on the face of it, of the game itself, forgetting like the story and stuff for a minute, it's just for me one of the most beautiful RPG Maker games. Obviously, like the rest of a lot of them, they're made in the VX engine. I think the VX Ace engine. Mm-hmm. So obviously they're confined to the same restrictions as all the other RPG Maker horror games that you can think of when you think of games like Ebe, Mad Father,
Corpse Party,
thank you, Crooked Man, that trilogy and stuff like that.
Crooked Man. Yeah. I forgot about Crooked Man.
Good times, Crooked Man. I enjoyed those streams. But the way they introduce those 4 characters that I mentioned, doing it through like animated cutscenes using almost like musical theatre, and just the way it's done is just so good and so enjoyable to watch. For me, it kind of just stands apart in that sort of aspect. Like in terms of gameplay and like gameplay mechanics, all very much what you would expect from an RPG Maker horror game, where you've got like quick action stuff, you've got chase scenes, which are just essential in an RPG Maker horror game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Puzzles and riddles and stuff. And the puzzles and the riddles and stuff are challenging enough, but they're not like ridiculously difficult.
Okay, so I could do it then. Oh, I'm terrible at puzzles.
No. You would do it, or you'd look it up online. Either way.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have time for this.
It strikes a really good balance, sort of in the sort of the challenge, because there's no like hard, medium, easy difficulty as far as I can remember.
There's just the game. There's
exactly.
Okay.
And then I would be remiss if I did not also bring up the soundtrack and the sound design. It's just like so much love went into this game, and you can hear it in the way the sound design for each scene is just done. Like it uses silence incredibly well.
Oh.
And then just uses like the character's voice in like scared moments and stuff like that. And the piano is sort of the main instrument that's used in a lot of the tracks for the game, and boy is it used incredibly well for a lot of different scenes and sequences and stuff. So that's sort of a lot of it in a nutshell from where I'm standing.
That's the overview. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you said there was 5 endings, right? That correlates to each character. Is that correct? That you meet, or like
I think
if you favor
originally, I want to say there was there 3 or I think there was 3 endings, and then they added a 4th.
Okay.
And that's sort of part of the problem. One of the issues I would say you have with the game is because there are multiple endings. If you're coming into the game blind, you don't know. You don't really know how you can make sure that you get the good ending. There will come a point where the choice that you need to make, the defining choice that will affect your ending, it will become apparent, but you don't know how many times that's coming up during the game. So you have to scrub save. You have to save a lot, and there are only save points in the game. So I think it's just before the end of each character's area. So the end of, I think, Fletter's, Harpe's, and Lisette's, and then of course Angel's at the end. So yeah, there's, aside from that aspect, I think it's like that with most, like trying to get the true ending is not straightforward. Like the game doesn't give it to you.
Yeah, of course not. I mean, what's the point of having like a true ending if it's just given to you?
I mean, Undertale is probably one example. It's a fourth wall breaking game in itself, but it does tell you after you get the neutral ending, oh, this is how you get, or like, it's not over yet, you can still get the true pacifist ending or whatever. So,
did they tell you that? I didn't know about that. I don't
yeah, if you, I think it's something like if you, it's been a while, but if you don't kill anyone, so you're still on for the pacifist, but I think you go down, you don't go into Alphys's secret lab. If you don't do that, then you end up with a neutral pacifist ending. And then Flowey appears and says, hey, it's not over. Maybe you want to go see how Alphys is doing, sort of thing. If I remember that right.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's one example of a game that does that. For the most part, they won't tell you how to get the true ending. But one of the main reasons that I love this game so much is the clever storytelling. So throughout the game, we don't know who the character's name is, and we're trying to find out. And you're trying to find out through these other characters who they all seem to know you. They all seem to know the protagonist. but obviously we don't know who we are. You're asking questions to try and find out who. And the game starts to just drip feed you certain pieces of lore to kind of help you piece together that, like, what's actually happening in this world. And obviously it isn't until, like, it probably isn't until the true ending, really, that you fully understand just what is actually going on. And again, as I said before, spoilers. Because I will now be talking about the endings. So, obviously it turns out that everything that happened in her head. And
it was
that
one of those dream endings.
it was, but it doesn't mean that it was all worthless. It doesn't hit you the same way that I'm trying to think of another example of an ending that's done that. It's not like that. I'm just going to say that up front. So yeah, I think Goldia is the name of the main character, Goldia. She is in a mental institution and has been diagnosed with, I think it's some form of schizophrenia. I think there's a correct word. I think that's the wrong phrasing. I think there's a correct word for that, so I apologise. I can't remember what it is. Actually, let me check.
Multiple personality disorder?
Yeah.
I was a psych major.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There you go. So throughout the game, you're sort of drip-fed stuff about her family, Goldia's family, and that she had a brother Henry, and she had, I think, a dad that went off to war and stuff, and she had her mum and stuff like that. And I think to cope with a lot of issues that she had in her life, she invented these other personalities like Fleta. She used Fleta to it was sort of her childish nature that she sort of used to sort of make sure that she kept her childhood innocence. Harpay was used because the character of Harpay in the game is actually blind. Okay. And sort of the idea about that is that Harpay or Goldia was blind to sort of everything going on around her. Right. So Harpay's character is like a protective person. So the idea is that Harpay was protecting Goldia. So when Goldia assumed the personality of Harpay, she would almost pretend that she was this perfect girl that Harpay apparently is.
Okay, that makes sense.
The character of Lisette was the one who she would end up blaming everything on, or being used as like a scapegoat. So I'm not sure how it worked in reality, but she would essentially blame everything that's wrong on Lisette.
That's awful.
That led the character of Lisette to go mad, and is one of the particular antagonists of the game. Until you get to the point where you realise and understand why she is the way she is.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the reason how this is a horror game, how that ties into it, isn't each character trying to fight for like dominance of who the main character is? Is that why there's horror aspect elements to it? Like, that's their motivation, right?
I'm not sure exactly. There is, and I'll come on to Angel, who is basically the one that is trying to do that, but there's a specific reason behind that. But the horror stuff kind of leads into its Alice in Wonderland inspiration. Yeah. So that's sort of a large part of the game's inspiration. Especially early on, in my opinion. There's a lot of like bunny rabbits and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they're dancing and stuff. It's great. Yeah. The game itself is it's creepy, and it leans on horror in a lot of subtle ways. Like, it's not conventionally scary horror.
Yeah, it's not like
you know,
jump scare stuff or like gore
there's
everywhere or anything.
There's no animatronic jumping out like
Dang
the screen
it.
sort of thing, you know. Yeah, nothing like that. But the way it uses its atmosphere and like the sound effects and stuff, it uses them so well to create a creepy atmosphere in a lot of situations. Even areas where it looks like it's really like happy and positive and stuff, and it's like there's just an air of unease.
Yeah,
and the game does that really well. But just going back to as you were talking about with the character sort of vying for dominance, so Angel, which is the fourth character, is actually a made-up creation. So it's not actually an original part of Goldia. So Goldia did not create Angel.
Oh.
So yeah. So again, I'm leaning heavily into the lore, and I'm telling everyone in this pod basically. So, going all the way back, Goldia's mother, the reason that Goldia ended up, in my head anyway, the reason Goldia ended up in this coma, or part of the reason, was because her mother made a deal with the devil, and the deal with the devil was basically she would get riches and, you know, get all the good stuff in the world, but she would have to give up her firstborn or first daughter's name.
Is it the devil? Because I wrote down it was the strange boy.
The strange boy is the name. I think it's even the name the community give him, or the name maybe the Astral Shift the developers given him. But it, like, for me, it's essentially he's the devil.
Oh,
he has like a little rod with like the horns and the goat horns and all that. So it's like it's all the imagery and like the theme is that he is essentially the devil, and because of that, he had to try and take her name, and he did that through essentially being in her dream. So remember back when I said it was all a dream? It was a dream, but it was
real.
It was also real in a sense that the devil went into her dream to take her name, and he would use Angel to try and do that. Goldia, after sort of coming through all of the issues that she had, understanding who she is and understanding who Fleta and Harpe and Lisette were, manages to sort of almost save Angel as well, even though she wasn't originally a part of her. And sort of once you manage to essentially save all of them and get their regalia, which is like it's like their own little symbol, their own little pendant. That's the way you get the true ending, basically. That's a large amount in a nutshell.
So is Angel okay, is Angel real then? Because like her other characters aren't real, but Angel had to go into the dream in order to interact with her.
In my head, as far as I remember it, because it's been a little while since I dug into the lore, but she was created within the dream by the devil.
Okay.
And was used to try and take the pocket mirror, because the pocket mirror is sort of the only link that she has to, I think, her mum. Even though it was her mum's fault in the first place. Which, by the way, the devs are making a prequel that focuses on the mum, called Little Goody Two Shoes. That's also the name of the true ending of Pocket Mirror, Little Goody Two Shoes. Which will explore her. I'm guessing the end of the game will be her meeting the devil, is my understanding. I think that's how they'll do it.
Interesting. So, is it going to be a horror game then?
First impressions from what I've seen, it looks slightly more light-hearted, but the universe and the devs, Astral Shift, are too good. They're too good at the horror sort of elements and stuff to not at least have that sort of layer of unnerving unease like littered throughout. So I'm curious to sort of see where that game goes. I'll definitely be playing it. But yeah, I've sort of left out large chunks of information in the main Pocket Mirror story, but obviously I'm not going to get into all of it, and there are probably parts that I may have got wrong. So yeah, check out my video that's much more in depth and goes into all the detail about each of the characters. Actually, one of my better videos, to be fair.
I liked it. I thought it was good
compared to like some of the others that I've done.
Others?
Well, no, I'll say that like you're proud of some videos more than others, right? Like that you've done.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So and that's one that I'm more proud of than others.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, sometimes I just throw out a video and I'm like, oh, I have 2 hours. Here's a little Hollow Knight boss. There we go. But yeah,
man, you're the Hollow Knight guy. Like,
yo, Hollow Knight.
Where is the Hollow Knight community just banding around you?
Wait, what?
Channel. Where is the Hollow Knight community that's banding around you?
Oh, that's banding. I thought you said disbanding. I was like, what?
I know nothing about Hollow Knight. You know that.
Yeah, no. I mean, the Hollow Knight community is still strong. Yeah, they came out with a group of coders and modders banded together, and they came out with a new Hollow Knight DLC like a couple of days ago, which is completely brand new. It's the first like modded DLC. Like there's been mods for about like randomizers, or like I have one called the Glimmering Realm where it takes all the maps that are in the game and it mixes them up in a way that the whole game is different, but it's still using the assets of the other game, of the original game. This is using completely new stuff and inserting it in the game, which is very cool.
See, it's amazing, like how much innovation can happen when people are just waiting for a new game.
Yeah.
There's still no release date on Silksong yet, is there?
No, and there probably won't be.
See, and it drives innovation, guys. It drives innovation, you know. So they're really helping us out by bettering us.
We're just starving. Starving for content.
Do you have any other points on Pocket Mirror you sort of want to get into?
Yeah, I have one point. You know, the devil / the strange boy, and how he took the identity of the firstborn. I realized that's sort of like you know, the fairy tale Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
That's essentially the inspiration from it, right?
It takes a lot of like old school sort of fairy tale stuff. Yeah.
Is there any other, like, what other fairy tales does it?
There's probably a lot more references that I just completely went over my head. Fairy tale guy,
Jax? You don't know fairy tales?
Not massively. I mean, I need to be, now that I have a child, so I need to tell him about. I was about to say Jack and Jill went up the hill. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's a nursery rhyme. I'm talking about who are the two that get lost in the woods? Hansel and Gretel. That's who I was thinking of. That's one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It is. And the story of that is the don't get lost, don't wander off. That's the meaning behind that story, right?
I'll think of not nursery rhymes. What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
Not nursery rhymes. The other thing.
Lore, like, fairy tales.
Like, fairy tales. And literally, I'll think of all of them, and the images that come to mind, they're all from like Shrek. Like,
I know, same. I can't get Shrek out of my head.
They're literally all from Shrek. Like that is bad. That is really bad.
It's not bad. Shrek is great.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else on sort of Pocket Mirror that I sort of want to sort of go into. It's just it's so, like, if you enjoy RPG Maker games and you haven't played Pocket Mirror, you have to play it because you will love it. Like it's I'm trying to think how many hours it is. It's quite a long time. Like
I was just about to ask, like, for those that may not know, how long does it take to beat the game? It's not that long, right?
I'm probably say like maybe like 5, 6, maybe even 7 hours.
Yeah.
But like for an RPG Maker game, like that's a decent amount of time. And obviously, if you're going to get all the endings, that obviously takes longer. But it's just a brilliantly made game. And I remember like one of the best things about it, in my opinion, is that the devs who worked on it, they released this game like as it was when it came out on Game Jolt in like 2016. It was completely free, and that kind of blew my mind because of how much love and how much detail, how much depth, everything that went into that game. And they didn't even like charge people. Like, I'm glad that they put it on Steam and they put money behind it, because they absolutely deserve it. Like the remaster, I mean. Because it is such a brilliant game. And yeah, as I say, for me, one of my favourite games of all time. It's such an experience, and even like watching it on YouTube is like an experience. But like playing it and like getting through it and enjoying it yourself, I couldn't recommend an RPG Maker horror game more than Pocket Mirror for sure.
I just added it to my wish list.
Oh, dude, please play it.
It's please. On sale. I was gonna buy Resident Evil because it's like $4 right now. I was looking at my wish list. The Steam Summer Sale's happening, guys. If you didn't,
the Steam Summer Sale is happening, right? Yeah, I've got to get on that. I'm really. It's my birthday's coming up. I think I'm gonna buy a Steam Deck.
Yeah, exciting.
I really want it. So I'm gonna ask for money.
Time too.
See if I really want one.
You should do it.
And I feel like I can get away with having the one with the least amount of storage, because like I'm not putting Cyberpunk on there, for example. If that was Steam Deck, like I'm not putting big games. But it's just like there are some games that I end up having to wait on the Switch for, because I'm like, oh, that game would be great on the Switch because I can play it handheld. Well, I could get it cheaper on the PC and then play it on my Steam Deck, you know?
That's true. Is there, I didn't know there's 2 different versions. It's just the size capability?
There's 3.
Is that it?
It's yeah, there's 3 different versions with like different sizes. And then like a tougher screen on like the better one, or some crap that doesn't really matter to me.
Oh, okay.
But I think I really want to invest in one.
Just get it. Yeah, it's your birthday. Why not? You're an adult.
Exactly. See if I can afford it. When I'm not buying little Pokemon things.
Hey, Magmar's important, dude.
Where's he? Is he gonna focus? Focus. There, beautiful.
It's, oh my gosh, he's gorgeous. I mean, I'm the same. I have like a wand from Harry Potter World right here, and I have my sonic screwdriver, and I have like a bunch of stuff on my top desk that no one ever sees, because there's stuff.
I've got like Funkos just across.
Funkos are so good.
But I have a rule on Funkos, is that I only buy from like IPs that like if I enjoyed a show, I won't get a Funko for it. If the show was like blew me away, that's when I do it. So like, for example.
Okay, yep, okay. Funko tour. Let's see it.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. We've done talking about Pocket Mirror, guys, obviously. Okay, so obviously Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, of course.
Okay.
I have a Squid Game one.
The main character from Squid Games?
No, one of the square guard guy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's more about having one from each of my favourite TV shows or games or whatever.
Yeah, so not necessarily your favourite character.
Exactly, yeah, because some are more expensive than others, aren't they? I think I'm getting an Attack on Titan one for my birthday as well, so obviously.
Good. Nice.
Got to. Walking Dead, I've got like I was about to say Negan, a Daryl one. I've got a Captain America, but the new Captain America, not Chris Evans.
Gotcha.
I love his one; it looks so good. Rick and Morty, I got Pickle Rick, of course. You know,
Pickle Rick.
Got Pickle Rick.
So good.
I got an 11 from Stranger Things. Oh, what's her name from Bob's Burgers? I can't even remember her name.
No, no, I can't remember her name. Oh, I'm so upset with myself.
But I used to really love Bob's Burgers.
Louise?
No, Louise is the sister.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah. I can't remember.
No, someone's gonna hate us.
But yeah, I used to really like Bob's Burgers. I don't really watch it now. And then there's more like Disney ones. So I've got like Wreck-It Ralph, because we love Wreck-It Ralph. Toy Story, obviously. A Frozen one, and a South Park one. Butters from South Park, because I used to love South Park. And then there's... this is my wife's one, really. It's not mine. She's got... at first glance, it looks like Supergirl, but it's actually Phoebe from Friends, because like Friends is like one of her favourite shows of all time.
Why is she dressed like Supergirl?
In one of the episodes, she's dressed up as Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
In like Halloween or something. So like that's the one that she ended up getting. Like,
that's funny.
It is what it is. But yeah, that's my Funko tour.
Nice.
And then I have this weird Venomized Iron Man, and I just got it because it looked cool, not because I know at all.
Oh, like Spider-Man Venom?
Yeah, I'll show you that one because it's this one's particularly cool.
Yo, weird.
Yeah.
That's freaky.
Boy, looks creepy. Focus. Yeah, he's kind of cool.
Sorry,
I ended up getting that one because it looked cool.
I just pictured someone like listening to the podcast in their car, and they didn't just like hear nothing, and then it's just you just saying focus. I only have one Funko Pop. Want to see my Funko Pop? It's right.
I will, and I will just say apologies to the listeners. You know, everyone who's not watching on YouTube, so has no idea what we can. You can't see, but if you want to see what Funkos we have, go on YouTube.
Go on YouTube.
Oh, it's unopened. He doesn't open his up.
No, I don't. You wait. All of yours are opened. Yeah, it's from.
Oh yeah, I'm not like one of the only few things that I've got that it's unopened is the limited edition Mario 3D All Stars game on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
You know the trilogy that they for some reason made a limited version of, and I was like, do you know what? That could be worth something in a few years. So I literally bought it. It arrived, and I put it in my loft and left it there. But they are now selling on eBay for like around £100. Oh, so they've already gone up in value. So for me, like I'm just gonna leave it there.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe it'll go up even more.
I mean, we can only hope.
We can only hope. Yeah, I don't know. I normally take stuff out of packages. I have like my anime figures out of their boxes. I don't know why I kept them in this box. I don't know, because what else am I supposed to do?
This has just become like a toy, like memorabilia sort of show.
Like what if I need to see like what other little figures they have on the back, or like what if I need to move him? Like I'm
sure
need
you
the
can
box
look online
anyway.
and see what the back looks like in a box.
But the box has One Piece on it.
Don't get me wrong, right? Those boxes are like the perfect shape to make like a wall.
Yeah.
You could, like, don't get me wrong, that is absolutely something that if I had a bigger room that wasn't this small, and for the listeners, like, I'm just moving my arms slightly out to each side, and I'm hitting the wall because I'm in a tiny room. There's no way I could have a wall of Funkos, which is a shame.
Look at all this space.
So you could have a wall of Funkos. You look like you got lots of room in that room.
I could. Yeah, I need more art on my back wall. It's very barren. I just wanted to fill it very slowly with video game stuff. For those of you that can't see, I have a Pokemon poster from the first 151, a Hollow Knight poster, and then a chicken that looks like the Stardew chicken. It's not actually the Stardew chicken, but it looks like it. And that's what I tell people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Does it? What do you mean, does it? Of course it does. You don't think it does?
I'll take your word for it. Like, maybe I don't know.
You don't think that looks like the Stardew chicken from Stardew Valley?
Like the Stardew chicken.
That looks like a chicken from Stardew Valley.
I mean, I guess.
No, you didn't think of that when you saw it for the first time?
Maybe the lighting is bad.
I'm gonna have to ask my chat. I'm gonna have to post on YouTube a picture of it and say what video game is this from.
Stardew, so that might be the reason.
Yeah. Anyway, hey,
that was a strange end to this episode.
That was a great.
Before we go,
Even
though I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we even do this anymore, but
of course we do.
Does it pass the vibe?
Oh, right, we do that. Yeah, that's a thing we do. I don't know, because
after a year of doing this now, do we still do that?
We had one game that we said didn't pass the vibe.
Was it Bendy?
I think it was Bendy.
Yeah, it was Bendy.
Oh yeah, we were mean to Bendy.
Heaven forbid we wouldn't pass the vibe. But yeah, obviously, for me, Pocket Mirror passes the vibe. I look forward to seeing you play it and everyone else.
Go give it a try, guys. Like we said, it's on Steam. It's on Itch.io too, right?
I don't know if it's on Itch.io actually, but the original is, I presume, still on Game Jolt. But get the remaster. I mean, why not? You know?
Yeah, why not?
It's just got a banging soundtrack. You know, even if not for anything else, just love the soundtrack. So, yeah, no, it's a great game, and I've talked to death about it now. I feel like you haven't. I feel like it's been me heavy in this pod today. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know the lore though, so I mean,
I do know the lore. I enjoy the lore very much.
And if you also enjoyed the lore, please rate us 5 stars on the platform of your choice. Look at us on YouTube. We got YouTube.
You'll be able to see our Funkos.
You'll be able to see the Funko, guys.
There you go.
Hey, do you like Funkos? You should check out the YouTube video.
Oh, no. But yeah, seriously, like rating us, liking the video if you are watching on YouTube, helps us out a ton. Most importantly, tell people that you listen to it, share it, and so we can get more people behind the podcast. We're about a year in to the podcast now.
Wild, insane that we've been doing this for a year. Does it feel like a year?
No, I'm not sure.
Sometimes
it
does.
We've just been doing it, like it just feels normal at this point. You know, so it just feels like part of the routine. It's nice.
That's true.
You know,
and we'll die on this podcast.
We got the big streamiversary, the big live stream plan, and we hope that everyone listening here came to the anniversary live stream that we did a fortnight ago. I'm sure that we definitely mentioned it in the pod before the live stream.
Yeah. Do you guys like that teaser video that I did to promote it on my channel? Did you like that I made?
I hope you're actually doing that now.
I haven't made it yet, but I will. Why is my camera being... Bye!
Thank you, guys. Good night. Hey, focus.
Yay! Da 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 da.